This video is going to discuss the difference between facts and opinions in NewsELA articles. Um, for a definition of the differences between facts and opinions, please watch the video that I uploaded um, about how to tell the difference between facts and opinions. So the NewsELA article that I pulled up is a pro and con article about self-driving cars. As a reminder, these pro and con articles are actually two different articles together. There is a pro article, so that's an article in favor of the topic, and a con article, an article against whatever it is that whatever the topic is. So the first article starts where it says pro. This by itself is its own article. So this article says driverless cars will offer Americans a better quality of life. So I have highlighted the facts in green and I've highlighted the opinions in that pink color. So this says technology is bringing big changes to the way people live their lives. That is a fact. We can prove that technology is causing changes in people's lives. The next sentence is the changes are coming faster than at any time in human history. We can prove by going back in history and looking at technological changes that we are experiencing bigger changes now than we ever have in human history, and we are experiencing them much more quickly. It says 30 years ago, if you could imagine a day when everyone could have their own pocket-sized computer, yet that is just what today's smartphone is. 30 years ago, smartphones were not a widespread idea. Now they are. Those are provable facts. But here in pink, it says, now the driverless car is set to bring big changes. It too could become a part of everyday life in the near future. This is not something that can be proven. This is speculation or prediction. Anything that speculates or predicts is an opinion. As we move through the article, it says that car makers say that they are almost ready to begin selling driverless cars. We could verify this. We could fact check it. We could look at press releases that were put out by car makers. We could look at speeches by people who run car manufacturing companies. We could prove this is true. In pink, it says once driverless cars arrive, fewer people will buy their own cars. This is not a provable fact. This speculation does not yet happen. So all of what I have highlighted here in pink is speculation or prediction, not fact, which makes it an opinion. Suburbs win over cities. It says that more and more people in the US have been moving to big cities. We could use census data to prove that more people are moving into suburbs than big cities. It says, however, many people would rather live in the suburbs. We could prove this with a poll. It says, these towns outside the big cities are cheaper to live in and not as crowded. We could prove that with demographic data. But then it says life is easier. To say that life is easier is not something that can be proven. It's very qualitative or subjective. What one person thinks might be an easier life isn't always necessarily easier. So that's an opinion. Where it says you can have more space, that's a fact. You can have more space in the suburb. You don't always have more space, but you can. It's provable. We could look at data about the size of homes, about the size of yards, the space between homes in a neighborhood. There are many ways we could prove this. Another opinion is that the best jobs are in big cities. Best is an adjective. We don't know what the best jobs are. It doesn't explain that higher paying jobs are in big cities or anything like that. It just says best. It says, however, this does not mean that cities offer a better quality of life. This is arguable. Someone who likes the city could argue that the city offers a better quality of life. Somebody who likes the suburbs could argue for that opinion. So I'm just going to scroll through, and if you want to pause the video and look at what I have highlighted in green as a fact and what I have highlighted in pink as an opinion, you can do that. But as you are filling out your graphic organizers, I want you to remember that I'm asking for opinions from the article, not your opinion. So where it says con, this is where the second article begins. This is a completely separate article from the one up top. The reason they're together in NewsELA is because they're two different articles on the same topic, giving you different. In this one, I have also highlighted the facts and the opinions. Facts are in green, opinions are in pink. I hope that that helped you with figuring out the difference between facts and opinions. If you have questions, please ask.